O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 RDX for $419 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 Acura MDX during our 17th anniversary sale.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
South Florida, listen carefully. Manny Garcia with Omega Realty Group is changing the game. He's not just listing homes. He's guaranteeing to sell yours in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print games. This is real. If you're serious about selling, call 305-440-1990 and see if your home qualifies. Manny Garcia delivers results. Manny Garcia, the home of the 30-day sale guaranteed, where guarantees are backed by action. Call now, don't wait. This market won't wait for you. Restrictions apply. Call 305-440-1990.
Welcome to Caneswear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys. and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. You gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in that corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you can get some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. Yes, sir. We are ready to rock and roll right here at Acura Pembroke Pines, where I see the lot overflowing. Certified pre-owned vehicles, ton of new ones, the ZDXs, they are loaded. We are working our way to the end of the month, so we got the fellas right there ready to get you a great deal on an automobile. And of course, Acuras are born and bred here, actually. So they're made here in the USA. So you avoid the tariffs, which, by the way, they cut the China deal supposedly now. And they got the tariffs down to 30% from 55 to 30. And then China remained theirs at 10. So I don't know the particulars of it, but whatever, bro. So hopefully it's something better for us. We shall see what we shall see. But anyway, we are here at Acura of Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. The great Sean Stanley is by my side. The amazing Larry Schlossberg back there. He's got a guitar, amp, and everything. So if you need him to do a little eruption or something when you buy a car here, he'll do it. He'll do it. Tell him, hey, do a little smoke on the water. And he'll do it. He'll do it. Jam some Doors, because obviously that's his band. Little Doors Alive. Actually, I'm going to go see his band next Saturday on July the 3rd. So I'm going to go see him jam a little Doors action. I love that they play The Wasp all the time because that's my favorite song. Yes, sir. It's Thursday? Oh, what? So it's the 5th. I'm sorry. So it's the 5th Saturday. That's what it is. Okay. So, yeah, there you go. So the 5th. Yeah, you should know. Anyway, so let's see. What else do we have going on? We got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, I'm telling you, we have got like a ton of things to talk about here on the show today. It is amazing. Ton of things to talk about on the show. We will have Manny Navarro at 10:30. Manny Navarro at 10:30. Now you picked up on it, right?
No. I feel like you just wanted to punch me for some reason. No, did you get my invitation in the mail? Is that what happened? You got my baby shower invitation in the mail?
Oh.
Punch me?
You had me for a second going, well, bro, what invitation? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here?
You're like,
is there a marriage going on?
If I get one of those, I'm punching people in the face. Like,
I didn't know. But then you pulled the baby shower.
No, I missed exactly what you were doing. I still don't know what you're doing. I'm sorry.
I said we got a lot of things to talk about. Okay, so, I'm just telling you, there's, okay, just saying. Saying.
I thought you were pointing.
Just saying, bro. Okay. Anyway, so Manny Navarro will join us at 10:30, and then we'll have David Furones at 11. Okay. Kyle Lowry already made an appearance. Came by early. We have, I'm a little pissed that Kyle Lowry is purposely not doing it during the live show. I think we've exposed him a little too much. And so now Kyle Lowry comes before the show, which is just not good. It's really not good. We got Inter Miami going for history, man. They're going to make some real news. If they beat PSG or even tie them, if they just make it a game, it'll be something pretty cool. But if they somehow, by some miracle, tie or win this game, wow, it'll be one of the greatest accomplishments for the MLS, actually. And by the way, it'll motivate owners more and more to go get those international players and start going, well, then this starts putting us at that level, that kind of stuff. Yes, sir.
Now I have a question because I don't know soccer enough to know. I know more of the MLS rules. For this one, since it's the knockout stage, there's no ties, right? They just go to penalty kicks or extra.
Yeah.
There's got to be a winner at some point. Right?
that part I don't know. Do they go to penalty kicks or do they go to a golden goal or what do they do? That part I actually don't know, but there has to be. It's a
There has
knockout
to-
round.
It's either they win or lose, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one way or the other.
Yeah, it's a knockout round, so you got to
so,
win or lose, I would imagine. Although they have a draw on the betting sheet because it's plus 600 for a draw. So, because it ends in draw and regulation. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. So,
and then when you go to the overtime, that's not part of your bet anymore.
Okay,
that's
okay.
what it is. I'm sorry. So that's what it is. It does end in a draw. So you did win. And then after it gets settled with PKs or whatever it is. So maybe that's how the betting part of
so
it
you could
goes.
have a chance to win twice.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So good stuff. Good stuff. What else do we have to talk about? Hey, before you ask, this is you know that this shirt might be older than some people watching today. Is there one person right now watching that's under 25? This shirt's from 2000 and their reunion tour. Their farewell tour 25 years ago. Their farewell tour a quarter century ago. No, not the one recently. Not that one. And then they had another one in the 90s because I wore that shirt here. I wore that shirt here. It was like it's the blue and black one that I have, and it's in the 90s. And it was another one of those farewell tours. This is another one of the farewell tours that I went to for KISS because, you never know when they're really going to say farewell, actually. So, I kind of learned that. So if you're going to ask, this one's from 2000. So is there a person watching right now that is younger than this shirt is the question. That's the question. Do we have anybody 24 or under watching the show right this second is the question. Okay. Give me a thumbs up there if you're 25 or younger. That means this shirt is older than you are, dude. Okay. That's like crazy. Just says in the back 73 to 2000. That's it. We're wrapping it up. It's over. It's a great 27-year run. We're not going to add another 25 to it. It was a great 27-year run, and we're done. It's so funny, man. Oh, man. Let's see. What else do we have? Scott likes the intro music. Thank you. We're trying to get the rock one redone. And I know my man, I don't know if Jay's watching right now, but, he's got me in contact with a musician. So I'm hoping that I can talk to him and get that thing going and get it done because I have the song, the lyrics, everything set. I just need a musician that can sing and rock it out and redo my rock version of our open. And that's it. That's the only thing I need. Good morning. So we're working. I've been working on that for a while, actually. I was hoping that I can get Steven Carter to redo it, but unfortunately he has not been able to redo it. So I have to try to get it done somehow or another because we kind of need that. And plus, since it's our own song, we don't get tagged with it, and all that. So it's pretty cool, so appreciate it. Shall we give former FAU player Vlad Golden a victory cigar for coming back to South Florida and joining the Miami Heat? I mean, really, it's not what a victory cigar is all about, but the man did get drafted into the NBA, and he is an Owl, and now he's a Miami Heat. So let's add a little flame to the fire and let's light it up. Give him a victory cigar. All right, there you go. Hoot, hoot. I like it. Okay. So not bad. What else do we have going on? Don't forget, folks, of course, you can always make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum, Chainlink, and Solana donation, which we always appreciate that. Thank you for all of you out there, as always, helping us and support us and get us to Spain so we can cover the Dolphins and the Commanders, which will be cool. The 17th anniversary sale is going on here. We've been here, I think it's 14 or 15 out of the 17 years, or maybe 15 or 16 out of the 17. I don't know what it is now. I got to look it up. It's been a long time, dude. It's like 14 or 15 easy that we've been with Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. And right now they're celebrating their 17th. The Integra, you can see it out here, $339 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The ZDX, I can see several of them right in front of me. That blue one is beautiful, by the way. $439 a month, 0% financing for 72 months. It's pretty cool. And again, made here in America. So you're avoiding the tariffs and all that stuff. The RDX, my wife drives it every day. $419 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. Come on out here. The selection is always awesome. So it's not like you're going to go out here and see like 2 RDXs or 2 MDXs. No, you're going to see a ton of them. So that way you can pick. Look at the ZDXs, man. Look how many of them. Oh, you want the gold one? That's badass. Okay, you want that charcoal gray one? Good. Oh, you want the black, the white, the blue? I mean, it's just, silver. I mean, just crazy, dude. So check it out. Come on out here. Great selection. And tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. As always, thank you. Yes. What else do we have going on? Jay Bird in the house. Shabbat Shalom. I think that's Jay Gelfin. I think that's him. Juan is in. To sum it all up, you still have to have the right head coach, which the Dolphins have not had for the past 23 years. Actually, they haven't had the right head coach for 40 years. Hate to say it, but Shula wasn't the right coach down the stretch. He was not the coach for Marino. He ruined Marino's stretch by not maximizing it. We haven't had the right coach here for 40 years, buddy. 40 years, not 23. 40. I mean, Jimmy Johnson sucked, dude. Absolutely sucked. Gus 1388, Dolphin Dave, Kosa, Brian Rakke, good morning to you, sir. Dan the Film Gent, Jamie Zoria in San Jose. Scott is hitting that like button. One-Eyed Jack. Let's see, Oscar's in Melbourne. And Jeff in Long Island. Thank you all out there as always. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The amazing Alan Blanco. Don't forget, if your company or corporation needs custom printing and embroidery, give them a ring, 786-618-1443. Sunday at noon at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, PSG taking on Inter Miami in the knockout round. See what happens in the FIFA Club World Cup play. Whatever, bro. Whatever to make a buck, but good comp for Inter Miami. I'm really intrigued for Sunday just to see if they can actually make it a game against PSG, because PSG is going to want to stick it to them. Okay. Saturday, by the way, tomorrow at Paladin Stadium, Miami FC is on the road to take on Greenville Triumph SC. So you can check that out too. And then second round action of the NBA draft went on yesterday, and your Miami Heat did not have a pick, did not make a trade, did not make a move. And that is boring as hell. But what are you going to do? It is what it is. That's your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Not really a lot going on, to be quite honest. It's just one of those deals. Today's kind of one of those slow days in sports where there aren't a ton of things, going on. By the way, you guys know I've been telling you about Bitcoin for a while, right? I think I've been talking about Bitcoin for a short time, right? 6 years. And again, not a financial advisor by any stretch whatsoever. But I saw a graph, and I think it's so important for young people, for newlyweds, for young fathers and mothers. I think Bitcoin something. I don't know. Did you see that now the government will allow you to use Bitcoin and crypto for your mortgage? In other words, it's money. It's money. So for all the people out there have been talking shit, the government basically says, "Oh, you want to pay us in Avalanche? You can pay us in Avalanche and in Ethereum, and you can pay us in Bitcoin." Okay? They may not take Doge or, dog with hat or, something like that. They may not take those kind of meme coins, but they're going to end up taking Chainlink, and they're going to take Solana, and they're going to take, as money, as currency. So, this kind of changes everything. So here's a graph and how I've been telling you how your money is what's devalued. Don't blame inflation on Amazon. Don't blame inflation on Kmart. Okay? Don't blame inflation on Acura. No, or Mercedes or anything. You blame it on your government for printing and printing and printing. And here you go. There's the graph that you need to see right there and then. That's the real breakdown of crypto. In 2012, the average house cost $238,700. In 2012, you needed 43,878 Bitcoins in order to do it, to buy it. Okay? 4 years later, a cycle goes through. The house goes from 238 to 306 in value. And the Bitcoin, you only need 531 Bitcoin because of the value of the Bitcoin has gone up so much that you only need now a fraction of what you needed 4 years prior. And then we move to 2020 when the house moves up to 317. So it goes up 11,000 for the average house. But yet it only takes you 33 Bitcoins to buy that house because, God damn it, the value of Bitcoin is going up way faster than any home. And then we move to 2024 when the average price of a house rockets. It goes up nearly $100,000 to $414,500. Yet, while it's skyrocketing, it's a fraction of how much the value of Bitcoin has gone up. That in 2024, you only need 5.8 Bitcoin in order to buy that $414,000 house. Yeah, because you were like at $40,000, 40 something thousand. So 5.8 puts you, up there pretty much. So now we move over to 2028. And in 2028, I mean, how long have I been talking about? Don't aim for a whole Bitcoin. Aim for 25%, correct? In 2028, in 3 years from now, you're only going to need 40% of one Bitcoin, 0.4, to buy a house that's gone up from 414 to 590. Yet, you go from 5.8 Bitcoin to 0.4, bro. Are you following the math? Are you understanding what's going on? And why I tell you your money dies. Everything else of value dies pretty much. But Bitcoin is the one thing that continues to soar, not rise, soar. And what's coming is going to shock people. You want to keep living in denial? you go ahead and keep living in denial. Meanwhile, over the last 13 years since 2012, look at what's gone on right under your nose. So if you are a young father and you've got 2 kids and they're babies and they're 4-year-old and 5-year-old, why wouldn't you be saving Bitcoin? Because it will grow exponentially that when they're 18, you're going to be able to take care of them big time. So, and it's just the dumbest thing that people, I can't buy a whole Bitcoin. Bro, you buy $5 today. You go on Cash App, buy $1, buy $5, buy 50, buy 75, buy whatever you can afford and let it sit there. And then if you get another $10, you throw it in there. You get $7, you throw it in there. You get $700, you throw it in there. Whatever you can afford, whatever is discretionary income, just let it sit there. Not a savings account, but a what? A Bitcoin account. Because it's all going to grow no matter what it is. It will all multiply because it's finite. Not a financial advisor, but just a little thing there, okay? So instead of trying to buy a house, which is going to be impossible, try to get yourself 20, 30, 40% of a Bitcoin. And if you can do that, then down the line, you're going to be able to get that house and just stay in an apartment for now for a couple of years. By 2028, 2030, that thing would have grown and you have an opportunity. I'm just saying, stop going so much to the movies, put some of it in Bitcoin. Stop buying Starbucks every damn day. What are they spending? $5, $7, $8 for a stinking latte? Can you imagine that? You put $35, $7 every day, 5 days a week, put $35 in a Bitcoin. That's $140 a month that you're wasting on coffee. You don't even want to know what's $140 of Bitcoin 5 years ago. Now, you don't even want to know. You're just going to be sick to your stomach. You don't want to know what $140 of Bitcoin 10 years ago would have been now. You don't even want to know. So you don't want to find out that when we get to 2030, wow, it was at 100 for a while and at 15x from that point to 2030. Shit, why didn't I get on that? Why didn't I ride that? So, it's made for us working stiffs. It's not just made for the rich. If we can only afford, like me, $5 here, $7 there, $10 there, $20 here. That's what you do, man. A little bit, at least we'll grow a little bit, grow a lot at least, and be very productive. But I think it's just one of the great graphs, and it can help so many different people in all walks of life. You want to get your kids a college fund down the line. They're going to get married, or you want to help them down the line, save in Bitcoin, man. You want your family to grow, save in Bitcoin. It's if you can afford it out there, why are you throwing $6,000, $7,000, $10,000, $12,000 away every year in insurance for your home? Why not put it in a Bitcoin? And then you don't have to ever buy insurance again. If you own your home, why are you paying for the insurance you don't even have to pay for? Buy Bitcoin. That'll cover your damage. It'll grow exponentially, and you could just leave it there. And if you ever have any damage, you got your Bitcoin and you're saving it. What you would spend every year in insurance, put it in a Bitcoin. I've never filed. And we've been at our home 20 years. How much I could have owned a couple of Bitcoins already, easily. And I would have been filthy rich. I wouldn't be doing this show. And I could sit back, own the house, and fully insured. But I didn't know what I knew 6 years ago. So it's different. So I'm just telling you, be smart. Be smart and do your homework. All right, let's do it. Let's talk a little Canes football with the one and only Manny Navarro.
We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
All right. Good morning, sir. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing great, Just finished driving about 3.5 hours up to Bradenton to be up here for the Under Armour Future 50 event, which I attend every single year because they've got all the top kids in the nation in the following recruiting class, which is basically juniors, sophomores, juniors, those type of guys. So getting a head start on that. But other than that, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, too. Listen, every couple of years, I did the same thing. I just drove up to Orlando 2 nights ago to go see Clutch. And I was jamming at the House of Blues because they never come to Miami. So I feel you, my brother. I know what it's like to get in the car and just go up there and have to go do your job, you know?
Yep, exactly.
Football, I cover music. You know what I'm saying? I rock out and stuff, you know? By the way, there is a donut place called Glazedville in right there across from the House of Blues. They're in Disney, downtown Disney. What's it called? Disney Springs or whatever, bro.
Nice.
Oh, those glazed donuts are delicious. Ooh, that was good. That was good. So I feel you having to hit the road.
Early mornings. Yep.
That's it. Well, for me, it was nights, and then I woke up, and then the good thing is that yesterday I had Hialeah Park, so that was in the afternoon. So I got back late night Wednesday. I was able to sleep in and all that. So it was just like it was just perfect, bro. It was just set up perfectly. All right. Let's get to it. You know, Manny, I think I've mentioned this to you before, but I'm actually now that I realize how bad the Dolphin season will probably be and how I really don't have a lot of hope for it, I'm actually like my hope is building more and more on the Canes side, only because at least I know Mario builds teams the way I know you have to build them from inside out. And I just hope there's no letdown whatsoever. Everything kosher with the quarterback and everything else, because he's going to have a line. He's going to have a running game. If that quarterback can play the game and take care of the football, I'm kind of excited about the season, dude. I really am.
Well, you should be. I mean, I think he did a really good job in the transfer portal. So there's going to be instant impact guys there on that side, especially on defense, where you know that they were so bad last year. Really, the reason they didn't make the college football playoff was its secondary, and they went out and really addressed it. They got some really good players there. I think, the question I have going into the year is wide receiver. You have to replace Xavier Restrepo and a bunch of guys that were big-time contributors there at that position, the number one scoring offense in college football. But they like the talent that they've accrued over time. They've got some guys, some veteran guys that maybe weren't huge from a production standpoint, but have played college football for a long time and have made plays themselves. So we'll see how that group pans out. But this is a team in my mind that should be top 2 in the ACC, no question.
All right. So with that, they've been on a red hot streak, recruiting and flipping people and all that. Even the Georgia kid, what'd they pick up this week?
Yeah, I think you look at the month of June, they've got 7 commitments now, and I want to say 5 of them have happened basically since Saturday. They've been really busy on the recruiting trail. Vance Spafford was the big pickup for them. He's a top 100 recruit out of Mission Viejo, California, 5'11", 175-pound wide receiver. You say, Manny, what's the big deal about that guy? Well, he runs a 4.35 and one of the fastest players, very highly productive at the high school level, a guy that Georgia absolutely wanted to be in its class, but Miami's been doing a really good job pushing for Vance behind the scenes. He wasn't able to even come on his official visit to Miami last week when Miami had their last batch of official visitors before we reached the decision time because he got sick. But still, you can see the job that Miami did recruiting him, that even without an official visit to Miami, The kid decided to flip from Georgia to Miami. They were able to get him. They picked up a huge tight end pickup, a guy that I've been talking to you about previously on the show, Israel Briggs, another California kid, 6'5", 200-pound tight end, absolute weapon in the passing game. You know how much Mario wants big tight ends and guys that can produce, and he's got the frame to put more weight on and be an NFL type guy, somebody that compares favorably, I think, to Will Mallory, who of course is in the NFL with the Colts. So I think those were the two big ones. Another one to mention, Ashari Charles out of Venice, Florida, edge rusher. I talked to you previously on the show about wide receiver, pass catchers, and defensive ends, edge rushers. They needed that. Well, Ashari Charles is that guy, 6'2", 230 edge rusher, still growing, probably going to stretch out and be much bigger, super athletic guy out of Venice. Venice always produces one or two guys every single year that go on to become really good college football players. And so to me, those were the three big hits on the recruiting trail this past week.
All right. And who's next? What are the remaining positions of need?
Yeah, I still think, look, this is right now an 18-member class for Miami. So there's still plenty of room. You got to remember something here. You can sign up to 105 guys now, right? The whole walk-on thing. I think Mario doesn't really want to have walk-ons. He wants to have 105 great players on his roster. And so, this could be a class that potentially gets to more than 30 kids signed if Miami really wants to go that far. So remember, they got a lot of transfers. They got 20 transfers in the portal here. They got a bunch of guys that are going to be seniors or juniors going to the NFL, like Francis Mauigoa is probably going to be going straight to the NFL after the season, the right tackle, 3-and-done type guy. So you have to keep replenishing the ship. So there's plenty of guys left on the board, but one name to know as far as this week and potentially somebody that could be landing soon, a kid out of Arkansas, 4-star defensive tackle, Anthony Kennedy Jr. He's supposed to make a commitment sometime today between Miami, SMU, and Missouri. Gabby Urrutia from Inside the U is, basically saying all signs point to Miami on this one. We talked about defensive linemen, big guys. Mario's going to always take elite defensive linemen if he can get them. And this is a kid that took his first official visit to Miami way back over a month ago. And so you keep recruiting those guys and you keep fighting and hoping that you made a really strong impression and were able to get them to jump on board. And so that's the next one that looks like it's going to happen sometime today. Down the road, the big one to keep an eye on over the next few weeks and months is Tristan Keys, who's committed to LSU right now. He's number one wide receiver in the country. I think he's a guy that, without question, Miami wants to land. Derek Cooper, I've talked to you about him many times, out of Hollywood Shamrock, the running back. He's hoping to make his decision, I think, in early July, a guy that you have to be monitoring. Those are the big names. But look, Brock College, who's right here, IMG Academy, one of the top offensive tackles in the country. Miami's got a ridiculous offensive line class. Potentially this guy would make them maybe a historic offensive line recruiting class. So, they just keep loading and loading and loading. And you got to give Mario credit. I think, we talk about how do you replace Carson Beck next year, right? Because he's coming in. You just got Cam Ward in and out. Every year you seem to find guys in the portal. I think from Miami's perspective, they're stacking elite recruiting classes upon elite recruiting classes. And that's really how you start to turn things around and start winning on the field. And so to me, he's just got to go out and take care of business this year. They got to make the playoff. They do that. I think they're going to have a top 5, top 6 recruiting class. Right now they're top 6. I think they'll finish somewhere in there if they finish strong and make the playoff.
It's just to kind of cross over my frustrations and the reason why I have more hope for Miami. Okay. And see, you're making me even more excited now. Okay. Because see, can Ken Dorsey move? Can Steve Walsh move around? Were those guys athletic at all?
No.
Were they Vinny Testaverde in the athletic department?
No.
Were they? No, right? But what did they do for those guys? They gave them time to pass the damn ball. And whenever Steve Walsh or Ken Dorsey turned around and handed off the ball, they had a stud back or 2 or 3 that they could hand the ball off to. They had reliable tight ends. They had incredible receivers. And they had 5 hogs in the front, which is what I keep talking about on Sundays. Why you fucked it up with Marino and you never gave him a dominant line in a running game. You never gave him a defense, and you never went anywhere. And now you've got this kid who's actually an excellent passer, dead ass accurate. Okay, this kid can hit anything on the field if he wants, but you got to give him time because he's just one of those kind of guys that can't move around. And so for me, Carson Beck, I know is not this kid that just left here in Cam Ward. Cam Ward can move around, can buy time, can do stuff. But if you build me a line of Montezuma, which is exactly what Mario Cristobal is doing, any and every quarterback in the world, their lives are going to be so much easier if they have 5 dudes that can block. And in college, Mario's probably going to have now he's at a point where he's probably going to have 2 or 3 on the damn bench that can just walk right in and take over. Plus, he's going to have 2 or 3 backs also. To me, that's what I get excited about, bro. You're doing what you're supposed to do as a coach or front office and personnel or whatever because your quarterback cannot do everything. And that's what I love about what they're doing in Coral Gables.
Well, if you look at the teams that have consistently won for the last 10 or 15 years in college football, every single one of them have done it up front. They've built it up front. Yes, Ohio State has a ridiculous wide receiver core, and Jeremiah Smith, who's probably one of the best wide receivers to ever play the game in terms of coming out of the high school to college and being that good right away. But offensive, defensive line is where it's at, dude. And Mario understands that. He learned that at Alabama, even further with proof in the pudding and the way Nick Saban won championships. And so he's building it exactly the way Georgia is building it, exactly the way Ohio State has built it, exactly the way Clemson has. Dabo Swinney, every year they have ridiculous defensive linemen and offensive linemen, and that's why they win the conference every year. And so to me, the blueprint is being followed, and it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time when they finally sort of piece it all together and win. And I think when you stack class upon class upon class, guys are going to leave. They're going to get in the portal and leave every single year. But if you keep replenishing it with more studs, then it's not going to matter who leaves.
I'm with you. All right. So what's going on in Bradenton? What do you got going on there?
Yeah, Future 50 event where you get to talk to a bunch of the 2027 recruits here, guys that start to get a head start on, take photos, start talking to them about recruiting, get some phone numbers. So that's what's going on here in Fort Lauderdale, which I'll be down at the OT7 tomorrow. It's the 7-on-7. You got a bunch of the elite 2026 guys that are going to be there. They're going to be playing in the OT7, which, by the way, you can watch all that stuff, I think, on the NFL Network. I think they broadcast a lot of those games there on tape delay or whatever, but you can watch sort of the future guys that are going to be stars in college football in the NFL. So a lot of interesting things going on this week, I know.
By the way, anything on the Wisconsin-Miami tampering deal?
Yeah, I spoke to some people at Miami late last week about this, and it was honestly laughter, I think, on their part about how Wisconsin is bringing this to court and basically going after Miami for tampering. I know that Miami investigated it on its own when all this stuff rose in January and feels really, really confident that they're going to be just fine. And so I think while, it certainly could be a precedent-setting case if it goes federal and people start to change their mind. But I think listening to some of the experts talk about this situation, Xavier Lucas had every right to look for a new school. And the moment, college football or college athletics starts to say, well, you can't transfer because you signed an NIL deal.
It's non-binding.
It's non-binding. You can basically take off and go. And remember, the important thing here is they're not even going after Xavier Lucas. They're going after Miami for tampering here. But the bottom line is kids have the right to leave and change schools. Every student should have the right to be able to change schools and go wherever they want. And I think that's something that, as much as college sports wishes they could hold these athletes accountable and make the professional athletes, the bottom line is it's a different sport. It's a different deal. This isn't the pros. Schools are in a different tax bracket when it comes to this kind of stuff. And so I think legally, I don't think Wisconsin has much to stand on.
One more thing, and this is from Miles Deep. I might be wrong here because I don't know if he's actually been talking about the Canes or the Dolphins, but I know he's a Canes fan. So maybe he says, if you have time, Big O, any upside or improvement on Lofton? Because I don't know anything. Is that a Canes thing?
Elijah. Well, I think he's talking about Elijah Lofton, the tight end.
Okay, because I know it's not a Dolphin. I don't remember any Dolphin named Lofton, so that's why I figured Miles Deep is asking something Canes wise. So
Yeah,
please,
really.
tell us on, please.
Right. Really special freshman that was a part of last year's group. He's going into his sophomore year. Kid out of Las Vegas, 6'3", 230 pounds. And
Miles Deep is from Las Vegas. He's a Vegas guy.
That's what it's asking.
He's watching from Vegas. That's why. I'm sorry. Now I put one and one
That's
together.
what it is.
I'm not very smart, so I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I know that he spent some time in the backfield this spring taking carries, and I know that I've heard that potentially could be used anywhere on the field, and that's they compared him to the Penn State tight end who just got drafted, whose name is escaping me right now, the first rounder. I think he's that kind of a weapon, a guy that potentially is a first round talent, and so it's just a matter of where he gets on the field. But look, last year we got a little bit of a taste of him. He made some big plays in limited opportunities. I think this is going to be a really strong year for Elijah Lofton, especially around the red zone. I think he's going to be a special red zone threat. You could see him carry the ball in some situations. You see him catch the ball out of the backfield and score. I think he's going to be the type of guy that could lead Miami in touchdowns this year.
Interesting. All right. Good stuff. Good nugget. There you go. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro, and make sure you subscribe to The Athletic so you can find out about all this stuff. Thank you, sir. Enjoy Bradenton.
All right, brother. I'll see you.
Got it. There you go. All right. Manny Navarro. And don't forget, BigCheeseMiami.com, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. The food is so delicious. The pizza, awesome. The lasagna. I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever dish you want to get, you're going to love it there, folks. The baked ziti. I get the baked ziti all the time. They've got the eggplant parmesan, the chicken francais, the fettuccine alfredo. My wife, by the way, gets the fettuccine alfredo all the time. The garlic rolls with the pizza sauce on the side. Oh, so good, man. All the pasta is shipped from Italy, and it is cooked fresh daily. Tell them that I sent you. Go to BigCheeseMiami.com.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
Right. It is Friday, June 27th, day number 18,750 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi Trophy. How about that? So there you go, Miles Deep. I completely forgot about that Lofton kid. So nice job by you, sir. To extreme, I see. There you go. And you are welcome, Miles Deep. Thank you. Don't forget, folks, as always, you can support the show, hitting the hell out of that like button, smash the hell out of that like button, share it with people out there. And, of course, you can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. As for Bitcoin right now, we are at 106,630. So kind of farting around that 106, 107 range. Hey, man, I would like to see another little dip into that 98, 99, 100 area. You know, that would be nice if it can happen one more time. But we need some kind of shock to the system or something. The Dow, by the way, is up 369 points right now. The S&P 37, and the NASDAQ up about a half a point. Okay, so that's what you got going on in the market. Crypto-wise, it's kind of light right now. Everything's kind of holding steady or slightly down, but not by much. Not by much. All right, what else do we have going on in the world of sports and life and all that? You see the Raptors split from Masai. Yes, I saw that they dumped Masai Ujiri. He is gone. History in the archives. That's kind of it's you win a championship and a couple years later you're done. That's it. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's just they move on, dude, and it's crazy. And it's not easy to win in Toronto. You know, and he got it done.
That's the thing. He got lightning in a bottle that year, and then it's tough to win there. So.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're just not gonna get. You have to draft him.
Yeah.
And if you don't draft them, it's just hard. And then you got lucky that you could get Kawhi for a rental, and you got your championship. You
Everything
know what I mean?
clicked, and you got it.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, that's kind of the way it goes. You know, it's let me get to a little music here, folks. How about that? I like doing a little music since we were just talking about going to see Clutch. Might as well do a little music. By the way, the Dylan Brooks story is freaking crazy. Talk about a crazy story. That one is nuts. All right, let's start off with her celebrating a birthday today. Gabriella Wilson. You know her as Her. Her, right? Having Everything Revealed. Born in 1997. All right, let's see. Who else celebrating birthdays today? Michael Ball, UK radio presenter, actor, born in 62. Lisa Germano, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist with Geek the Girl, also worked with John Mellencamp, Simple Minds, David Bowie. 1958 for her. Who else celebrating birthdays today? Joey Covington, drummer with the Jefferson Airplane, Hot Tuna, and Jefferson Starship. Unfortunately, we lost him in 2013. He was born in 45 on this date. Bruce Johnston from the Beach Boys, vocalist, guitarist, born in 1944. And that is it for musicians. Let's go with other famous people celebrating birthdays. Remember, if I don't have the age, that means they are no longer with us. They have passed away. Like poet Paul Lawrence Dunbar, born in 1872. Disability rights activist Helen Keller, born in 1880 on this date. Ross Perot. We're going to get it done. You vote. We're going to get to work. We'll get it done. Born in 1930, Ross Perot. Ross Perot. Vera Wang, fashion designer. The Wang Dang was born in 49. She is 76 today. Actor Julia Duffy, born in 51. She's 74. Let's see. Filmmaker J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams is Alias, right? What else did he do? He's done a bunch of shit. Why am I forgetting now? Didn't he do like Heroes? Something like that, right? J.J. Abrams, born in 66, my year. He's 59. I'll be 59 too, but October 1st. Not yet. Not yet. Actor Tobey Maguire, born in 75. He is 50. Let's see. Who else? Khloe Kardashian, born in 84. She's 41. Actor Drake Bell, born in 86. He's 39. Josh and Drake. My daughter watched that all the time. Actor Alana Masterson, born in 88. She's 37. Lauren Jauregui from Fifth Harmony, born in 96. She's 30. Let's see. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir. We have a couple.
Okay.
Dick the Bruiser was born on this date in 1929. And Kimberly, she turns 35 on June 27th, 2025.
All right. Good stuff. We move on to music history. What happened today, June 27th, in music history? In 1970, the English band Smile decided to change their name to Queen. In 2002, the Who bassist John Entwistle died of a heart attack at 57 in his room at Vegas Hard Rock Hotel 1 day before the first scheduled show of the band's American tour. Great bassist, dude. Great bassist. In 2015, Yes bassist Chris Squire died at the age of 67 from cancer. Another. When you talk about Entwistle and Chris Squire, you're talking about two of rock's greatest bassists of all time. Okay? Just phenomenal. In 81, Motorhead had their only number one album in the UK with their live set, No Sleep Till Hammersmith. Great album, by the way. I have it. In 94, Aerosmith became the first major band to let fans download a full track for free from the intranet. Over 10,000 CompuServe subscribers downloaded the song headfirst within the first 8 days of availability. You know, I was trying on Prodigy. I just couldn't get in there. You know, CompuServe just not helping us Prodigy people. What's up with that? What's up with that? Anyway, in 71, the Fillmore East Concert Hall in New York closed with performances by the Allman Brothers, the Jay Giles Band, the Beach Boys, and Mountain. Mississippi Queen! You know what I mean. In 95, Mirrorball, the collaborative album between Neil Young and Pearl Jam, came out. In 2000, Sum 41 released their debut EP, Half Hour of Power. In 2006, Axl Rose was arrested after allegedly biting a security guard on the leg outside his hotel in Stockholm, Sweden. He was hungry. And that's what happened today in music history. And I'm sticking to that. Frankie Fresco with the love on the Super Chat. He says, WWE Night of Champions. Who you got? Jacob Fatu, C, versus Solo Sikoa. Second match, John Cena. C is for captain. Champion. Versus CM Punk. Well, there's no way I'm picking a Punk. So I'm going to go with the heel, not the Punk. So I'm definitely going to go Cena, if you see what I mean. Jacob Fatu. Is it Fatu? Oh, Fatu. Okay, Fatu. Versus Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa. You know, I used to be a lot more Fatu also, but no longer. I'm less Fatu now. I'm more skinny Sikoa now is what I am. I'm trying to be even skinnier Sikoa. So I'm going to go with Solo Sikoa in this first match because tomato, Fatu, Fatal, whatever, Jacob's going down. Okay, so Jacob's down. Solo Sikoa is the winner. And John Cena. You see what I mean there? So we're in. John Padilla checking in from San Francisco. Too extreme. I'm honestly just waiting for what the Panthers are going to do with this offseason. I'm all in on hockey, LOL. I think at least we get 2 of the 3, bro. At least 2 of the 3. And if Ekblad wants to take that haircut, we get all 3. But if he wants to go make that money, which he's already made that money, he's got to take that haircut. Okay? What a lot of people want me to do, take a real serious haircut, and I never do. That's exactly what Ekblad has to do. You know? So the Heat are burned out, and the Dolphins are flopping mullets, and the Marlins I forgot existed. Big O convinced Cutter's Edge to bring their business here to Port St. Lucie. Well, listen, man. If there's one thing I'm not going to argue with when it comes to William Quigley is landscaping. He knows his landscaping. So I don't know, man. You know, you want the man to expand all the way to Port St. Lucie, and then, you know, that's more headaches for him too. So that's a bigger company he's got to run now. More trucks all the way up there. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it for him or not. Sure it is, but I don't know the business. You know, but the poor man's got to handle Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties, and he does it in an ass-kicking fashion. I don't know if they're going to get all the way up there, my brother. They are so established here. They're so awesome. And, of course, please call our friends at Cutter's Edge Pro and William Quigley. Great people, dude. Great people there. And they do excellent work. And as always, your business, your home value goes up when you add landscaping. I've told you many times, you should add landscaping all over your house. The more trees you have around your house and everything, the heat gets absorbed by those trees and not the walls of your home and all that. And you can actually have like a cooler home. The more trees you have in your backyard, the more shade you have. Like my dogs, they love going under all the shaded areas in the backyard, dude, because it's a lot. It's like 10, 15 degrees cooler, man. And it just changes. You'll be in your backyard more often if you have more trees, and it just becomes a more comfortable, you know, atmosphere for your home. So really, call the people at Cutter's Edge Pro, 954-472-0622. All right, hour number 2 is next. The amazing David Furones starts it off.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, David Furones. And we thank, of course, the great people at Welton Rayom, Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom. They are absolute ass kickers. As a lot of you already know, over the years, you've used Jeff and Dan. And remember, we are in hurricane season. Seems like it's getting cloudy every day. And so even if you don't get hit by a hurricane, which we hope we don't, but we get these thunder showers, and sometimes they create problems for us. If you develop a brown spot in your roof and you think you have a leak or something, you call Welton Rayom. They send over their adjusters, and then they attack the insurance company for you. Maybe they can get that roof fixed or get you a brand new roof. So call them 954-966-4646 or save that number, because God forbid you need it here during hurricane season. All right, my brother. So are you following Tyreek around to see if he can go meet with Jalen Ramsey?
That's a good one.
I can't believe people are either writing or talking about this or either taking this serious at any level, but go ahead. It's just funny.
Yeah. Whatever Tyreek Hill does is going to draw attention. So I know at least for us, it was my colleague Chris Perkins wrote it, but he wrote it with the context of, but that ain't happening, So Tyreek Hill vows that he's going to do this, but it ain't happening. All right, let's be real. So I feel like that's long gone, but I don't know. Maybe I'll leave like a 1 or 2% chance out there. Let's leave it. Maybe Tyreek Hill is just so engaging and so convincing that there's like a 1 or 2% chance that he can convince Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, he couldn't convince his wife. He's not convincing Jalen Ramsey. So that's where I'm gonna go there. If Keita, right? I think that's her name, right? Keita.
Mm-hmm.
Keita, yeah. Yeah, if Keita didn't stay, I don't think he's going to keep this guy from staying, whatever. Now, is there anything on this front at all? Is there anything on the Jonnu Smith front? Because at least Drew Rosenhaus, and I know I keep asking you this twice a week, but Drew Rosenhaus said he thinks something is going to happen before training camp. So we are about 3 weeks away now from training camp. So I would imagine the countdown is down with the Jonnu Smith one. I don't know about the Jalen Ramsey one. I don't know when that one's going to happen, because that one's a lot harder because they're going to have to give up money, and that's a bad situation.
Yeah, I guess 3.5 weeks now. I mean, first, when we first heard about the Jalen Ramsey trade situation, I said, okay, well, the draft came and went. Nothing, so it makes sense for it to happen post June 1. Post June 1. Let's look at June, and now we're running out of time in June. We might be looking at post July 1 with the way things are going, which there are no added benefits for it to be post July 1. So it's just a matter of the market there just not. I mean, sure, there are some things.
Has Adam Schefter altered his report on that?
I knew it.
I'm just wondering. We got to kind of, he said there was this big interest in Jalen Ramsey. I'm just wondering if he's adjusted that statement there a little bit. That's all.
Yeah. Last we heard from Adam Schefter was he liked the LA teams, either a return to the Rams or for him to still go back to SoFi, but with the Chargers. Obviously, he was beloved in his time in Los Angeles and was huge in the community there. I remember talking to him all about it when the Dolphins went back to face the Rams for that Monday night game last year. And that was actually probably the most engaging Jalen Ramsey ever was in an interview outside of his introductory press conference in his whole time with the Dolphins. Honestly, it was when he got to talk about his time in LA. So you could tell how he just brightened up.
He won a title there, bro. I mean,
So if I was telling, so I can see that. I remember feeling like Washington. In fact, for my mock draft, I had him going to Washington in a mock trade. So I could see something like that, where maybe it's a Dolphins play against Jalen Ramsey in España when they play the Washington Commanders. So I would cross now the Baltimore Ravens off since they picked up Jair Alexander. Aside from that, I mean, I think it just comes down to how much money the Dolphins will have to pony up in this deal so that they get something of some semblance of value in return, whether that's like a 5th round pick or something, and how much on the spectrum of balancing what they pay of his contract for this other team to what they can get back. That's something reasonable.
Your colleague Chris Perkins wrote an article about that the Dolphins aren't toxic and that Mike McDaniel would never allow it is in the headlines. I'm just wondering, what are the Dolphins? When you look at the Dolphins, David Furones, going into this season, if they're not toxic, what would you call the Dolphins right now in all the defections and everything that's happened and the controversies? And you're in the middle of two controversies right now, two players that basically won off this team. You know, Jonnu Smith can tell you all he wants about, oh, yeah, I'll stay. But it's basically, oh, I'll stay if you pay me. He doesn't really want to stay. He wants to stay if you pay me a certain amount here, and obviously they don't want to pay him that amount. So these are guys that want to leave. So what are the Dolphins? If the locker room isn't toxic, what is that locker room? Because it certainly isn't the harmony that we're watching with the Florida Panthers.
If I had a few words, I'd say disappointing. I'd say failing to meet expectations in recent seasons. That's how I would chop it up. It's this was a team that over the past several seasons has been made, established, ready to win now, and then hasn't won in any of these seasons.
What is the environment? You are 100%. You are 100% right about how you describe their shortcomings.
Yeah.
But that's not what Perkins was talking about. He was trying to say, hey, it's not a toxic locker room. Okay, but what is this locker room? Because I don't sense that this is a locker room that believes in their coach, believes in their direction. Like, if you look at the Panthers right now, bro, every man there, they row the boat in the same direction, in the same rhythm. I mean, that crew, okay, is impeccable right now. They can win any race because they are flowing, baby, flowing. So you tell me, what is this Dolphin locker room? How would you describe it? What is that environment in there?
Maybe the environment, maybe the word for it is easygoing. Is just
carefree.
They're
you're
cool.
talking about carefree.
Huh?
You're talking about a carefree environment.
Carefree, easygoing. I mean, I wouldn't go carefree. I think that implies like they don't care if they win or lose. There is still a care, obviously, but it's easygoing. Like, it's not. Yeah, there are times, there are some losses where yes, they are going to be down, but it's not like it's anything and everything. It's, hey, you still got something to look forward to. We're good. We move right on. We brush it right off.
Let me give you a couple. Let me give you a couple of adjectives, and you tell me if they exist.
All right, let's make it multiple choice.
Is this a confident locker room in their ability as a team?
Confident, yeah. I would say confident. I think a lot of
You think that team, those guys look at each other and say, "Oh, we can win this game for sure." Really? You think that way? That they're confident the guy next to him and the guy next to him and the guy next to him is going to do their job like they do with the Panthers, that they're going to do that. Like, I don't believe that exists with the Heat, much less with the Dolphins right now. I don't believe the Heat players walk into any game going, "Oh yeah, we got this, baby. Yeah, we're there." No, I think they're questioning themselves. I believe the Dolphins do the same thing because where's the leadership in all of this? Where's the direction? So I'm wondering, how do you see that?
No, I think professional athletes are just wired that way, to be confident. You didn't get to these ranks, to these heights, without a certain confidence about yourself that you could always one up your competition. You could always beat the person in front of you. So a lot of them who have defied odds to get to where they are, coming from humble beginnings, maybe high schools that weren't high profile for recruiting exposure, maybe some lower level colleges where their film wasn't out there in the draft process, and they still made it. So I think a lot of professional athletes are just wired that way. You always have confidence.
I think you're misinterpreting it. You're talking about the individual. The individual is different than the team.
No, but it transcends.
No, it does not. You can be confident in your ability. That doesn't mean you're confident you're going to win that game because, shit, I know I'm going to do my job, but this guy's a slapdick, and that guy doesn't run the right routes. And that guy, I know, didn't do his homework because I watched them all week. He wasn't prepared. And the coach keeps playing Julian Hill, and he keeps dropping passes. So you could be confident about who you are. You know what I mean? You're Zach Thomas. Yeah, you're confident, but, like, you're going up against the team. Do you believe that the rest of your linebackers are you? No. And so that's where I'm talking about that. Yeah, individually, you are 1,000% right. Collectively, do these guys go in thinking, oh, yeah, no, I've got the coach, I've got the plan, we know exactly what we're going to do and we're going to win? I don't believe that, man. I don't believe that. They don't show me that every week. You know?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, they don't show it. There's a lot of times where they don't show it. I think though athletes, they go into every game believing they can win, even when it's like they are 2 touchdown underdogs. I feel like athletes just always believe. You always go in believing. Maybe in the back of their mind, there is that one little doubt that's telling them, all right, do you really? But they go into every game with a belief. Now, maybe once a game progresses and you start seeing what the opposition is doing and that what you're doing isn't working, and that some people, like you said, weren't prepared because of how they prepared during the week, then maybe during a game it could start to creep in. But I feel like they always do go in confidence.
Okay. All right. What are you working on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Yeah, right now just on Jalen Ramsey watch, Jonnu Smith watch, a cornerback signing watch, and trying to take
You're bored as hell because there ain't shit going on.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's okay. I'm just like on, I'm taking it easy, and then only if there's news. So I got a few weeks where I could just pop in only if there's news.
So they're not sending you to Atlanta to cover PSG Inter Miami now or something, on the side?
Yeah, no, not that. I was very grateful to get to cover some Panthers.
Dude. Hey, you get to cover a real winning team. I mean, that
was fun. Yeah,
dude, that's fun because you're certainly going to be in misery all year long covering the regular beat that you're on. All right, so you're on the beat of nothing right now because there's nothing going on, and your gut tells you there's nothing going to be going on till. It seems like we're going to have to get to training camp where there's some desperation that needs to set in. Maybe somebody needs to get injured or something to trigger one of these moves or something. I don't know.
That's how these things often pan out. Like I remember my first year on the beat, it was a Xavier Howard contract dispute. And, it took until training camp started and that he was, what was he doing then? He was holding in. He would show up but not participate. And then eventually there was one day we all came in and everything was gravy. Everything was just fine. They reached the contract agreement and he was back to work. And I feel like sometimes that's what needs to happen is some desperation, whether it's just training camp approaching and a resolution still not found for all these things, or just once training camp begins and you've got a holdout or a hold in or some other, like Tua's contract last year. That's when it happened. It was like 3 practices into camp. So something like that is why I'm still believing Jonnu Smith could still be a member of the Dolphins under a little bit of a pay raise next season. I know you're of the school of he gone, but
yeah, because he's 30 and he's going to want multiple years and more guarantees, and he's not going to get that. And so does he just settle for more guarantees within this year, and then he puts himself at risk? And then, everybody talks about the Steelers and Arthur Smith, right? Correct? Okay. They still have Pat Freiermuth there. And they're gonna and now that Rodgers is in, him and Smith are meeting, and they're more of a run-oriented offense than a pass-oriented offense. Whereas Aaron Rodgers is going to have to adjust to not passing as much as he passed last year, which I think he was like number 1 or number 3 or whatever there was in pass attempts. Like he passed a lot last year. That's not going to happen anymore. In Pittsburgh, they're going to run the ball more, and Arthur Smith is a run-oriented offensive coordinator. And then you have Pat Freiermuth, who is actually like perfect for that offense because he can block some, he's blue-collar, and he's a solid tight end. But Jonnu is not really known to be a blocker, so you're not going to put him in line. You wouldn't use him as much. So the Steelers can't offer him a lot of money because they're not going to use him as a featured piece to the offense. So I'm wondering what the hell is going on with the Jonnu Smith situation and where is he going? And have you heard anything? Because when I start to like analyze what Pittsburgh is, what their DNA is, who they have on their roster, they really can't afford to bring Jonnu Smith on and give him a multi-year deal and a lot of money when they're really not going to use him as a focal point of the offense.
No, and no team that makes a move for Jonnu Smith is going to use him as an every down and inline blocking tight end because that's just not what he is. And even the Dolphins didn't really use him as such. So that's why Julian Hill got as many starts as he did. That's why Julian Hill got reps as he did. So you're using him to be that pass catching tight end, to whether it's dominate the middle of the field, give him the short passes so he can use his yards after the catch, let him be the red zone target. But even within that, where let's just say he gets somewhere between 50 to 60% of snaps in a game, he could still produce in those snaps in the passing game to the level of being a Pro Bowler who has 88 receptions, 884 yards, 8 touchdowns in a season. So that's the kind of production you're looking at in the passing game for the stuff that he does. Even the Dolphins wouldn't be using him in that way, but there's still a lot of value in what he presents. But what if it's like, I know you don't want to add on too many years, but what if it's just you were already planning on paying him this year? If you give him something for the next year after, and it's just you're right back to a new 2-year, which is what you originally brought him on to, but with some more guarantees because of what he proved with his Pro Bowl season.
Oh, dude, you're not. I'm not arguing with you at all. I would love to bring him back. I'm just looking at the situation on his behalf. And he's about to be 30, and he signed a terrible contract. His agent did a shitty job, and now he's in a really difficult situation because this is his last deal. This is his last deal, and he has to make it the best he can possibly make it. And by just adding extra money for this year or even just for next year, it locks him in and he's done. And, it really puts him in a tough situation. Plus, he's not going to win because he's not really in a winning environment right now. So it's a rock and a hard place right now for everybody. And I believe the Dolphins are not investing long-term anymore in Mike McDaniel because they don't know if he's going to even be the offensive coordinator next year. And they don't want to go through this whole bullshit again that if they bring another guy in and he doesn't like Jonnu Smith and then you got to move him and you just signed him. And so they've been dealing with too much of that lately. And I think they refuse to add another one of those kind of salaries. The Jalen Ramsey thing is just a great example right now. You just paid him and now you're in a shitload of trouble because of this whole thing. And he's got you by the balls because you gave him all the guarantees. And once you give a player guarantees, Tyreek Hill, they got you by the balls. And so this is the problem with them. They've got their balls in a brace by many people and they're tired of it. And I don't think they want to do it again. I really don't.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, with Jonathan, that's why compromise is what needs to be found between both sides. He doesn't want to play on the current deal, and for Jonathan,
it has to be that no deal happens. Like they cannot find. Nobody's willing to give him a multi-year deal. Like Drew's talked to other teams. Like they're like, yeah, go ahead and see if you can find anybody. And nobody wants to get. And then they have to come back and crawling and say, okay, well, we'll take extra money this year and next year or something like that. That's if the Dolphins are willing to even do that for next year. I don't even know that, bro. I just don't know that if they're willing to do it. That part That's the part I don't know if they're even willing to do that for next year. Dude, you don't tell a player when he comes to you, I need a new deal. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Let's call Pittsburgh. When that happens, that tells me that you're done. You're done, bro. You're done. You know, it's hard to come back from that. You have basically told him, no, we're not giving you more money. We're not moving on with you. This is that we end our relationship this year. And then he's like, shit, I don't want to do that. No, I'm 30. What if I blow out my knee here this year? I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. But even in the scenario of you're moving on from Mike McDaniel after this next season, it's not going to be a complete offensive overhaul because you still have Tua for at least a year after that. Now it could be a new head coach is then bringing in just has him for the 1 year and then figures out what the plan is, whether it's a rookie quarterback or whatever veteran becomes available. Then
that's the part I don't. Tua is not your problem.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm saying it's not a complete offensive overhaul.
Any head coach that has a brain, just build an offensive line, bro. The guy's fine. The guy can kick ass for you, but if you don't want to build an offensive line and a running game, well, then I'm sorry, bro. I mean, you're not going to win with anybody. You know,
that's why I'm saying you could go into that second year if you want to keep Jonnu Smith happy. Even if you were of the mindset of we might be moving on from Mike McDaniel down the road, is that it's still not going to be a complete offensive overhaul. You're still going to have Tua, Jalen Waddle. You're still going to have some of the pieces on the offense rolling over. If it were to go all the way to an overhaul, then that wouldn't completely occur until another couple of years down the road.
Crazy shit. All right. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ and catch his work there. Boring work right now because there's nothing going on as he's in the Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, and what's the other watch?
Cornerback signing.
Oh, and cornerback signing. That'll happen closer to training camp. That one I have some hope for you. I think keep an eye on that one. That one I have some hope for you in the next couple of weeks of happening. The other two, I don't know when the hell that one's going to happen. That one is not good. Anyway, you have a fantastic weekend, young man. I appreciate you as always. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it. Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, they know how to get it done. If you're dealing with bankruptcy, personal injury, homeowner property damage, commercial litigation, condo damage, business owner claims, even criminal defense, man, call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
By the way, to extreme, the artificial turf is the best. So I don't know. Call them. Maybe they'll go up to Port St. Lucie for you. Maybe they'll do a special deal. But oh man, we've had ours for over 3 years. Not a blade of grass has grown through it. By the way, you said that your dog has destroyed the real grass. They have a tendency of not doing the grass thing after they do their business with artificial turf. It's pretty cool. So that's actually good too at the same time. But yeah, the artificial turf is the greatest invention for dogs, bro. The best and the easiest to manage. Pipe Man Slim picking up some Ali coin. Look at you, baby. Look at you. What else? Balls in a vice grip is no bueno. No, it's not. I want to see the Dolphins to build the line of scrimmage for the next 2 drafts. Dolphin Dave, that's something you should do in every draft. In every draft, you should be drafting a fat guy or two somewhere. For the O and D lines, every year you should be drafting. Every year there should be somebody that you're drafting on the lines. To me, that's the way you do things. You have to have as many linemen as you can possibly fit on your team that can actually play. And you have to make an investment in those guys. And there has to be constant drafting. That way you're getting them cheap for 4 years, and you can filter some of them out and get compensatory picks and keep the even better ones and those kind of things to just kind of keep it going. But it's got to be a cycle, and that's something that we just have never done, over the years. And I just don't understand it, to be quite honest. I've never understood that, how we are not completely dedicated to drafting offensive linemen and keeping our offensive line and having a punishing group of human beings up front. I swear I don't understand it at all. So it's just it's nuts, man. Anyway, what else do we have going on? By the way, R&M Contractors, there's Ray and Mike, good people, long-suffering Dolphin fans too, season ticket holders and all that, man. Great people, and obviously, just like us, big-time local fans. If you need anything, complete remodel, kitchen upgrades, appliances, impact windows, door installations, if you live in a condo and you need waterproofing on your terrace, your balcony, the flood test report, all of that, very important, man. Call R&M Contractors, 305-345-3649. Their work is second to none. 305-345-3649 for R&M Contractors, and tell Ray that we sent you. Oh, have you heard Teddy Swims? Yes, he's awesome. He's a phenomenal new artist, great voice. He dropped a complete first full album today. Yes, I know of Teddy Swims. He is absolutely phenomenal. Yes, I have actually talked about him here on the show too. Very good, very good. Like I said, he is CeeLo Green on steroids. That's Teddy Swims. If you watch and listen to Teddy, he reminds you of CeeLo, except to me, he's actually at another level. He's better. Okay? He is got more depth than CeeLo does in my book. That's just me. And CeeLo's good. This guy's better. Yeah, Swims is a badass. I'm good with that. Let's see. What else do we have? Dolphin Dave says you're right. Well, what can I tell you? I'd love to see them build it up and build those lines up. It would be really, really nice. Yes, sir. What do you got? Something going on?
Apparently, Jalen Ramsey sharpening up his tools at the PSG training facility.
Paris Saint-Germain?
Yeah, I'm sure it's one of the.
Oh, they're in Atlanta training somewhere.
No, he's at their.
Where they're in Atlanta, right?
PSG English, so it's kind of like, I think it's probably like, what is it? Miami down here is a.
Oh,
the PSG club, aren't they?
Is it Miami City? The PSG
Miami
one?
City is the one I was trying to think.
Miami
of, yeah.
City is the one in Tropical Park is the PSG. I think that's their academy.
Yeah, that's their academy. So I'm guessing this is probably wherever he's
they're playing at the PSG academy.
Yeah,
he's in Miami.
PSG English, so I'm guessing it's one there.
So yeah, it's probably FC Miami City.
FC Miami City.
That's it. FC Miami City is the one that I believe it's PSG.
It's a PSG club, yeah.
I believe.
That's the first time I met you. You probably don't even remember that, by the way.
When
you were in the crowd watching one of the games. We used to stream their games. The media school used to stream their games.
Oh, okay.
And you were in the crowd at that time.
Yeah, I'm one of the losers that goes and supports local soccer. Yep. I actually like going to my FC Miami City. It's cool. It's a cool environment because you just nobody's there. And it's cool. It's probably friends and family members that are actually there doing that the entire time, So, but it's cool. And they actually have a really cool jersey. I never bought it, but I did want to get one of their jerseys. By the way, Yuri Cristofante, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Very kind of you, as always. Very nice. He says, keep up the good work. I appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Very nice. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can help us get to Madrid. We're going to broadcast there. Have some fun. Teddy Swims can't swim. That's not good for Teddy. You know, that you should be able to swim if your name is Swims. Yes, sir.
Casper,
the friendly
Yakachonis,
yes,
will be wearing the number 25.
I don't even remember a 25. What's a famous? All right, Casper, the friendly Yakachunis. Wow, 25. Can't wait to see the first person with a Yakachunis jersey. Oh, man. I hope the kid is good, man. We need it. We need it in a big time way, man. We need a break. The Heat desperately need to, draft a kid that becomes a star. They just need it, bro. What happened? What happened now?
What number did Duncan Robinson wear?
I don't even remember.
Well, I looked up
Well,
famous Miami Heat players to wear 25. Duncan Robinson came up. Is he still wearing 20? Well, he's not wearing it anymore.
No.
Yakachunas got it.
Yeah.
But also Anthony Carter, Wayne Simeon.
Wayne Simeon. Wow. And AC was 25. Man.
It was 2000 to 2003 for AC, and Simeon was 2006, 2007.
Wayne Simeon. Wow, that's a blast from the past, dude. That is crazy right there. All right, folks. Don't forget, visit our friends out here at Acura Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And we are at the end of the month. This is the 27th. So what is it? Tuesday is the 31st or whatever, or 30th? What is it, 30 or 31st here in this? No, it's 30th in June. July's 31st. July's 31st, I think, is how it goes, right? Or is June 31? Monday's the 30th. So you got till Monday here, and they will make some great deals. By the way, they got a great service center. Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber, they will take care of you. Amazing people. We thank, of course, Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone. Appreciate you all out there. Kind of a slow day today, man. I'm going to wrap it up. We shall see you all on Monday. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a good one.